never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we get into Christmas, things still need to do, and people still need to be prepared, engaged, and actively involved in our communities. And if I may say, these three, very, very brilliant students joining us, it just shows that the future is indeed bright and very, very potentially prosperous because of your willingness to speak up now. Mr. Richard Weber, Olivier Zimmer, together with Ms. Michaela Corinne joins us. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I was sitting earlier with some other students, and they're transitioning. So now they're just about to come back. Well, I say sitting because you guys have this way with technology. I'm in one room and they're in multiple rooms across different parts. And I'm thinking, we're sitting together, but we're not physically present. But they're getting ready to travel back for Christmas. And, I'm thinking, first semester under your belt, how does that feel? Well, they still pretty much feel as if they're still here in Cayman and wondering about what is happening. And I just, in passing, referenced the conversation that I'm hoping to have today with the three of you, and they thought, that reminds us of them at, when they were in high school, as it were, as you guys are. So as we start today's discussion, we're looking at what is before us. A couple of questions. Where do you see us now in Cayman? And if we don't, engage, where do you see us in 15, 20 years? Richard, from the budding economist, what's your perspective?
Well, really, when you think about it, Cayman 15 to 20 years from now is very much dependent on how the world works around us and how we can adapt Cayman's economy in order to service the world around us. We can do that from finance that we've done for decades now. You can do it from tourism that we've done for more than the time we've done for finance. So really, the best strength about Cayman is how much it is able to adapt to the situation around us. And as we see, the world around us is more so focusing on alternatives to traditional forms of cruising and of airplane travel, to focusing on ecotourism, focusing on sustainable practices. And so when we see developments like Barker's happening, I personally see this as being a reversal of Cayman's tradition of adaptability into focusing on this one specific area, to the detriment of the Cayman Islands. So 10 to 25 years from now, depending on how our attitudes towards things like the Barker's Plan, the cruise port change, we might either see a Cayman that has fully embraced the ecotourism model or is reluctant and might fall to the wayside because of it.
No, as I listen to you, and for those who were in attendance at any of the meetings, but especially the one last Tuesday evening at the John Gray Memorial Church Hall, to see the audience participation, to see the willingness of Mr. Whitaker to speak, but to see the engagement of the young people. So I say people like me who are all under 40 or 50, actively concerned. I wonder where we are as a society looking, sort of inward and thinking, well, what can we do? What more are we doing? What are we doing right, and what are we not doing so right? So, Olivia?
I think that the primary problem right now is that a lot of the things that we see going on, a lot of the plans that have arose, they all tamper with the future of the youth, and that's why we're coming out to speak against it, because it's tampering with our future, not the future of the people who are putting the plans in place. So I think as a society, a lot more of the youth need to come out and let their voices be heard, because at the end of the day, in reality, it's us that is going to suffer if a lot of these plans go through.
And I think it's, as I asked Mr. Gala to weigh in, you're looking at, for those now who are maybe 40, 50, 60, 70, their future, their stability, their prosperity, their quality of life and safety equally is being threatened. Ms. Michaela?
Yeah, we saw that firsthand when we were at that meeting because of how they're all acting and reacting to what was being said by Mr. Whitaker. Mm-hmm. It is also their lives, and it's also our lives that are being put at risk here by the removal of this turtle grass, and it was kind of scary to see how everybody was reacting, because it's not just about moving a beach bar, or it's not just about construction. It's really about a lifestyle that people have developed, and that's being threatened. It's not just construction.
All right. We will at some point ask about this balance that people keep talking about. Some will harken back to the early 70s. Some would even say, well, we missed it in the 80s and 90s, and some say, well, we missed it even last year. This thing between development and environmental protection and preservation, whether it's in Cayman or whether it's in another part of the world. But Richard, from that perspective, and we're looking at seemingly the almost dismissiveness of some of us towards others, especially the youth. Or you don't know anything, you're too young, you're still wet behind the ears. And all these things that I say that only to share with you that in the little session this morning with those students. One, she remarked that that's what she was told when there was another issue some time ago when she was in high school and someone said the same thing. And then another fellow who was much older than me said he remembered hearing it. It seems that people who are like yourselves, who are actively engaged, always sort of looked at differently. Thankfully, you're actively engaged. But so, Richard, from that perspective, then, are we looking at the idea that we're not considering not just the economic viability, the environmental preservation, but the safety and security, the quality of life of down the road? We're just looking at the dollar cents today. Well,
that's definitely what is actually happening right now, is that we're focusing on the short-term benefits of opening things like the Barker's Plan, instead of actually looking forward to the long-term impacts, not only on the area itself, but on the general attitudes towards the trends in the Cayman Islands as well. And this is one that I brought up in the meeting itself, was if you were to go forward with the plan, you would be raising the land value around the Barker's area, and you could, in theory and in practice and truth, you would lead to rising land value for the locals in the area, and that drives those who cannot afford the prices out of their homelands, and they can't, in fact, go back to where they were born or they came from, because the land value has gone so high to service a tourism industry which in all regards is actually dwindling cruise ship wise. And so when we see the short-term impacts and you recognize them, but you're being somewhat disregarded for these facts because you're a youth, I find it quite degrading, in fact, because we see that we are the ones who are going to inherit this problem years down the line. We are the ones that are going to have to solve this, solve the situations that the generations before have given us. And so we see these kind of impacts and these propositions with this long-term mindset, not with this short-term mindset.
I know with that, as I listen to you, maybe that same problem with rising land values, some would share that just recently, even with the mishaps in the Caribbean, we're seeing the increase in people coming, sort of resettle here as they decide what they're going to do back to where they're from. Our prices are going up. But even before that, in certain parts of Grand Cayman specifically, prices have gone up beyond what some would say, well, is affordable for them. That's a concern from that perspective. What else, Ms. Olivia? Are we looking at, as an example, this morning the young lady shared, she says, okay, she is away at school, studying, should be actively engaged in her studies. But this is the one issue when it came to light, sometime was it last month, that all of a sudden she was, almost felt as if she was present here and almost, bad in a sense that she was not physically present to be as engaged. But she shared that, when we look at it, the unknowns and the speculation as to, well, what is a bigger picture? Is it true that there will be development within, the body of the water itself with these villas? Is it true that they're going to be, a channel cut from one end to the next and creating a peninsula within a peninsula? And I said, well, I don't know. And these were just questions. So those unknowns, are those things that are not just scary but alarming to some?
They're very, very alarming to me personally, because there's so many risk factors that are involved with a plan like this. Risks that, like you said, are unknown. And the fact that people are willing to take that chance and take those risks without knowing for sure the outcomes of the plan or the repercussions that they'll have is actually terrifying.
Okay.
You could tell that in the meeting also, like everything that was being discussed as almost an unknown. Like, you don't know what's going to happen to the beach after you take out that turtle grass. And that's why that should just be an immediate red flag. Like, you should know from that moment that you shouldn't be doing that to the environment and to the land, because you don't know what's going to happen. And it's the same with the area around that. Like, you don't know what's going to happen because of the trash that the bar will bring in from the tourists who don't know how to protect that land environment. You don't know what's going to happen to the national park.
If I may ask, and you said something about the future, but just from one of the sort of comments I remember the gentleman sharing this morning in a discussion, he said, from a plan, apparently he's seen some sort of proposed excavation area, and the land is here, but the physical excavation area is out here. And he's saying, well, why is it that you're allowed to, when you excavate within the dredge, I think was the word he used, maybe excavate is a euphemism, dredge into the seabed, you can dredge beyond your property and to either side, as opposed to just out, as it were. And then the other thing that he said, well, the notion that it would appear that some are alleging that the use within the Barcas is only, in recent years. And yet he says, he's not that old, but his uncles used to go there and they're much older. Is that a challenging? We're trying to rewrite the script, as it were, to make it believe that this is only something new. Prior to recently, it wasn't anything going on up there.
I definitely don't think that's true, because obviously the fact that it's a proposed national park in itself shows the value that we've placed on this land. And it's, I know for me at least, my grandparents, they enjoyed that area as kids, and they took us on Sundays just to sit on the beach and relax. Like, it's been passed down through generations, and I don't think that it's a new spectacle at all. I think that it's our heritage, it's our history, and to disturb that is not a very good idea.
Well, a last comment. Now, I keep thinking about and I mean, in a sense, I was trying to ask her how to cue her into this conversation, because she's one of those young ladies that's different. On one hand, she doesn't like to be described as being dainty, but yet she is. And yet she doesn't like to be described as a tomboy, but yet she is. But whenever she's up in the Barcas area, she says, she's walking through the turtle grass, and it's, it's comfortable, but yet not. Okay, let's laugh.
I mean, sure, turtle grass isn't exactly comfortable for your toes, but what it's doing is it's protecting the land, and it's protecting everything that's around it, and it's also home to so many marine creatures, and also the fact that area is a replenishment zone, and the law says that you can't take stuff out of there. You can't take stuff out of that area, and what's happening is the plans say that that's what they're going to do. They're going to take stuff out. And so I guess kind of our question is, like, where do you draw that line? Where do you say that you can't actually break that law in that deal? Like, where does that whole thing stop?
Someone asked that, and only again when I was walking in, said to me, well, if you're in a replenishment area, you would go there. Conch season and you pick up a conch in the replenishment area. Oh, it's right here, look, and it's a nice big one, that you'll be committing an offence. And I said, well, that's what I think. But he said, well, how can you excavate, dredge 4 acres?
And it not be an offence?
Would it not be the same? And I don't know. All right, so when we come back from the break, we'll invite our callers if they want. Call your friends if you actually want to see how prosperous and potentially viable a future can be, because of not just the brilliance of these young people, but their enthusiasm and their courage. 949-8037, or toll free at 1-800-534-8255, or even WhatsApp 925-3261. And I'm reminded that we are on YouTube, and I hope that the cameraman would focus on the brilliance of the young people instead of the shiny baldness of my hair, but that's a different story. So you can go to YouTube and Google Radio Cayman live stream, and you'll see it happening right there. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
South Coast Bar and Grill up in Breakers, man, that is the place for traditional Cayman cuisine. Oh, you will love the taste. At South Coast Bar and Grill, we got conch and lobster and turtle stew. And every Sunday, come out with your family for the barbecue.
South Coast Bar and Grill by the seaside, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, lunch and dinner. Call us at 947-2517.
For Cayman and cuisine, the talk today is South Coast Bar and Grill.
I didn't mean to hurt her. Work was tough. We're struggling financially. I had a few drinks to relax, but then the argument started. It was a mistake to hit her. Now I don't have a job. I don't have a wife. I can't afford to feed my family. This was a hard lesson to learn. Never forget that walking away from something unhealthy is brave. Stop to slap. Stop to cycle. Stop the violence.
The Stop the Slap campaign, proudly sponsored by Foster's IGA. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
On the seventh day of Christmas,
Foster's gave to me dinner for 12 with Chef Maureen Cubbon at Bon Vivant. Shop today only to be entered to win dinner for 12 at Bon Vivant. Brought to you by Quaker. Purchase specially marked products to enter the Foster's IGA 12 Days of Giving. Visit us in-store or online and check us out on social media to see all our sponsors, the daily prizes, and the 3 grand prizes. Free groceries for up to a year. Plus, enter the 12 Days Instagram giveaway to win 2 silver thatch passes to Kaboo. Learn more at fosters-iga.com.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop,
dancehall, urban gospel, Latin hits,
reggae, and
soca.
The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of
Savannah Pharmacy, just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
The holidays wouldn't be the same without a little boom from Fireworks Limited. Cayman's biggest firework discount megastore is now open behind Massive Equipment in Industrial Park. Fireworks Limited has a megastore full of new fireworks and offers huge volume discounts. Stock up early and save big with free gifts with every purchase and the biggest variety of products on island. Fireworks Limited is behind Massive in Industrial Park with tons of parking. Open until 6 p.m. every day except Sunday and open until 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., you can hear a repeat broadcast of CI Retro's Talk Today special presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, when we take a look back at Cayman Islands Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years to present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Cayman Enterprise City, pioneering a new type of special economic zones in the Cayman Islands, focused on technology and innovation. FSH Designs. Let your imagination grow with FSH Designs Limited. Visit fshdesigns.com today. Eats Cafe, Legends, and Yoshi Sushi, located in the Fall Center on the West Bay Road, across from the Westin. And by Puritan Cleaners, celebrating 60 years of excellent service to the Cayman Islands community. And to you from all of our fine sponsors. All the best for the Christmas season and into the new year. Remember, Thursday, 7 p.m., CI Retro Talk Today's special Christmas presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered. Looking back at Christmas over the last 150 years on Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us in the studio. Richard Weber together with Olivia Zimmer and Miss Michaela Corinne. Almost got it right? No?
Yeah, you got it.
Wait. Really, it truly is an honor to be able to know that we have young people like yourselves who are so engaged, so enthusiastic, so intelligent, and so willing to stand your ground and speak out. Hopefully encourage more of us. We do have a caller on air as you go to our phones. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today. Oh, my apologies. Not there when it comes back. Okay, we'll get it. Listen, sometimes patience is a virtue. But sometimes persistence and perseverance, pays off. If I may ask of you, though, as we look at this issue, I think, Ms. Michaela, you said earlier our future. And Olivia, you referenced in our future. Richard, you referenced in our future. It's our future and it's now. How do I put this? A gentleman who is, many years my senior, decades times X my senior, he says, he's living on borrowed time. So whatever happens, he isn't going to be as affected as I am or as my grandchildren. And I don't have grandchildren. Right? And he says, why is it a we? And I believe he wasn't just talking about, us, the we, but we as in his generation, thinking about tomorrow and how it's going to affect, future generations. And I didn't ask him. I didn't really think a lot of what he said, to that extent. That he was thinking about, we being him and not we being us. Richard, is it on them, the older, or is it on us, the younger, who should be thinking about it?
Well, it's really both when you think about it. It's definitely 100% the youth's responsibility to recognize the failures of our previous generations and seeing, okay, how can we learn from this in order to not make the same mistakes again. Mm-hmm. But you can also make the same argument for the older generations to see, okay, this is how it was when I was growing up, and I see now that I've sold my land to Dart, for instance, and he's now changing it completely from how it used to be from when I was growing up. So now it's completely different. Now my children can't have the same experiences I had growing up. So now I recognize that I will not sell my land or do those types of activities that would directly change the way I was growing up, so I can have a better future for my children or for my grandchildren as well.
Some people have shared since the meeting that we in Cayman seem to project an image that, this is just a protectionist mentality of the indigenous who are backward. I mean, he put it in a much more flavorful way, but and he says, having had the opportunity to travel and to live and work other places, friends and family from, who reside in other countries, that the level of protection that is afforded. I gave me a couple of examples, two that I recall. One is in California, somewhere on the coast in San Diego. He said Central Park in New York was, a large preserved area. And then there's another one, some other park. They're forward thinking of the people that they're trying to preserve certain areas in order to ensure that it's there in perpetuity for everybody else. He says we haven't done that in Cayman, ever.
So we were actually just talking the other day in an environmental science class about what % of Cayman's land is specifically protected. I don't remember the exact specifics, but it's not a lot. Mm-hmm. And we were thinking about that because I think a huge part of our tourism here is that natural element and that kind of untouched feeling that Barker's obviously does have. And when tourists come here, sure, a handful of them do look for that 7 Mile kind of fabricated idea, and it's beautiful, and they can have that in town and on 7 Mile. But a lot of people that come here actually do look for kind of local, serenic and an untouched feeling that you get, and you get that from places like Barker's and other places in West Bay and up in East End. And those are the pieces of land that we should really be protecting, and that's why we were talking about, like, what areas of Cayman would we protect if we could. And I think that Barker's is one of them because it's got so much history and it's so rich in everything, and you can't just go around destroying places like that.
Mm-hmm. There's this issue, there's the port, there are other things. What is it that you think there's about the Barker's issue in particular that has almost galvanized, seemingly, just from comments from different people, whether they live and work in West Bay or they're born and have generational links to Cayman, or they've been here for a couple of decades? It seems to be all sorts of people who are openly, actively talking about it, concerned.
Well, Barker's it's a place that we don't see very much in Cayman anymore because it's so untouched. And I think that a lot of people value that because we've seen so much of our island developed. You can barely drive down West Bay Road without and see the sea anymore because of all the buildings that have been built. So I think for everyone that's speaking out against this issue, it's the fact that Barker's holds a place in our hearts, and it means something different to everyone, whether it's that your grandparents used to take you there, or it's just a place that you go on the weekends to enjoy. It holds a place in a lot of people's hearts, and I think that's the reason that it's become so contentious.
Serene, element of solitude, an escape, a reprieve for some, maybe just a few hours up there, walking, looking for shells, maybe just, the birds in the solitude, a chance to get grounded again. And that seems to be whether you're a West Bay or, whether you're a guy who just need a couple of hours away, from the office.
Yeah.
To run into but Richard, economics, finance, money talks, and what is it they say? Okay. How do we get to that point then, that we're looking at what we have there and what would be beneficial, for an investment return, sustainable from an environmental perspective, and striking that balance?
Well, the balance truly is with how can you continue Cayman's culture of adaptability, especially with regards to finance and tourism, towards the future. And this is another point I did bring up in the town hall meeting as well, was the government has released the statistics from the cruise ship passengers. What have you done in your day in the Cayman Islands versus what have, the people who came in on airplanes have done in their average of a week. And the statistics prove from themselves. I think it was something around 20% of people who come in on plane go to culture or tour or cultural activities is what they called it. Yet less than 0.5% of cruise ship passengers did. So you have these airplane passengers actually learning and looking into the culture of the island, not with these cruise ship passengers. And then you have the airplane passengers, again, they have, in large majority, I think it was 80%, go to these ecotourism walks in the Botanical Park, or they go to the Mastic Trail. Less than 20% of the cruise ship passengers do so. And even a part of the Caymanian economy, the cruise ship passengers make up a lot less than the airplane passengers. It was somewhere 77 million for cruise ship passengers contributed to the Caymanian economy, compared to 256 million in airplane passengers.
Yeah, so the over-tourist was significantly more.
Yes, exactly. So the economic aspect is that even if you were to see it from the culture of balancing cruise ship with development, it's just not sustainable. What we should be doing is we should be focusing on the long-term passengers and reorienting Cayman's tourist economy away from just 7 Mile Beach and towards diversifying and improving aspects like the Mastic Trail, the Botanical Park, and Barkers, into making it more of an eco-tourist model similar to that of Costa Rica, and instead of just here's our beaches.
Okay. We do have a caller join us, and if you live live radio, is that hey, as the callers come in and we take the calls, we find out what's on the caller's mind. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon, Mom. How are you?
This is Georgia Ebanks.
Blessings to you, Miss Georgia.
I had promised never to call Radio Cayman again.
Okay. Did not know that.
I am 91 years old, and I would never be calling in on a subject that isn't being discussed. And good afternoon to the young people you have there with you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But one thing you young people do not understand, I don't know if Mr. Sterling understands it, that turtle grass is like a nursery. That's where the little fish and the future conchs that maybe you all might like conch and lobster and fish, or maybe you do not. But that's where they live until they get big enough to swim away. A nursery.
Yes,
Get
Mom.
that through your head.
Yes, Mom.
Should we destroy Barkers because of a few tourists who will come off of ships? God made this island. He made Barkers. He made the whole island. And everything on our island that they can think about, they are destroying to suit other people. I am 91 years old. It's like Smith back there. Had we not gotten up and spoken, that would have remained Smith Cove. It's not Smith Cove, it's Smith Barcadere. And it goes for Barkas to leave Barkas alone. God made it, And of course people have enjoyed it, and they should be able to enjoy it for many, many years to come. It's a nursery down there, and talking about walking in turtle grass. Don't walk in it then if you don't want to walk in it. May God bless you all, because let me tell you, you all have a lot to learn, my dear. A lot.
Well, thank you very much for sharing, Georgia. And I think you and these young people are on the same page. I think their comments about trying to make sure that we very conscious, and I don't want to put words in their mouths, but protect, preserve, maybe even prevent, unnecessary or development in the area. So thank you so much for sharing. But I'll let you guys share. It seems that whether you're 91 or you're not just quite 19, I just put numbers around. People seem to be on the same page with respect to what Barkas is.
People are on the same page because that's the reality. Barkas is a replenishment zone. As she said, it's a nursery for a lot of marine life, and that's exactly why we're coming out to try and prevent the destruction of 4 acres?
4 acres.
4 acres of seagrass, because we know from other places that seagrass have been removed. We know, we've seen the effects of that will have on the environment. It's not really that taboo. What is taboo, though, is what will happen if you not only remove seagrass, but also dump 700-800 people into waters that have never seen that population of people before. That's also a really big issue.
All right. Let's pause quickly and take a short break. We'll come back. We'll read a short email. It says, a look into the future. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
This Health Flash is brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Over 65 million people around the world have moderate or severe COPD, a family of diseases that includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Cleveland Clinic, Florida offers a wide range of management and treatment options for COPD, including programs focused on education, medication, smoking cessation, and pulmonary rehabilitation. A team of experts is ready to review your symptoms and test results to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. For more information, visit clevelandclinicflorida.org.
I didn't mean to hurt her. Work was tough. We're struggling financially. I had a few drinks to relax, but then the argument started. It was a mistake to hit her. Now I don't have a job. I don't have a wife. I can't afford to feed my family. This was a hard lesson to learn. Never forget that walking away from something unhealthy is brave. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
The Stop the Slap campaign has been proudly sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
It's more than what we do. It's who we are. We were your official bank of the quincentennial celebrations in 2003. We were your Bank of the Year 4 times. We were voted as the inaugural top employer in 2010. We were the inaugural Business of the Year awardee in 2017. Who are we? We are Cayman National, your local bank, proudly serving you for over 40 years. It's because of you that our journey continues.
I am worried about my employees' health insurance. Are there any companies out there that I can rely on for great coverage, affordable payments, and who will work to make the switch as easy as possible? Or am I asking for too much?
You sound like you need Fidelity Health. At Fidelity, they offer great coverage through a highly rated and trusted carrier, payments I can afford, and with no on-island deductible on all the plans they offer. Best of all, they offered my company 50% back on the first month's premium.
This is too important. Today's the day I am switching to Fidelity Health.
Make the easy switch to Fidelity today and get 50% cash back on your first month's premium until December 31st. Call 949-7822 to make your switch now.
Trot on down to A.L. Thompson's Appliance Gallery to get a free turkey. Simply purchase a Whirlpool major home appliance for at least $500, and as a thank you, A.L. Thompson's and Whirlpool will give you a turkey as the star of your complete holiday meal. It's a deal worth gobbling up while supplies last at A.L. Thompson's, Georgetown.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., you can hear a repeat broadcast of CI Retro's Talk Today special presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, when we take a look back at Cayman Islands Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years to present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Cayman Enterprise City, pioneering a new type of special economic zones in the Cayman Islands, focused on technology and innovation. FSH Designs. Let your imagination grow with FSH Designs Limited. Visit fshdesigns.com today. Eats Cafe, Legends, and Yoshi Sushi, located in the Fall Center on the West Bay Road, across from the Westin. And by Puritan Cleaners, celebrating 60 years of excellent service to the Cayman Islands community. And to you from all of our fine sponsors, all the best for the Christmas season and into the new year. Remember, Thursday, 7 p.m., CI Retro Talk Today's special Christmas presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered. Looking back at Christmas over the last 150 years on Radio Cayman.
I can tell you this.
Williams Production presents the Crab Family in Cayman, Monday, December 31st at the Lions Center in support of Adasi. Kickoff time is at 7 p.m. Tickets are only $25 and $35 at the gate. Purchase your tickets now at the Christian Enlightenment Center and Funky Dance. It's all brought to you by the Office of the Premier, Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport, Value Med Pharmacy, Cayman First, Uncle Clem's, Hides and Son, Praise 87.9 FM, Tony's Toys, and Radio Cayman. The Crab Family in the Cayman Islands, Monday, December 31st at the Lions Center.
Sometimes it takes a mountain. Sometimes a troubled sea.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. And thanks for joining us. And if you want to weigh in, share your thoughts, hey, why not? We'll give you a couple of options. You can WhatsApp 925-3261. You can call us toll free at 1-800-534-8255. Or, if you would just like to dial 7 digits instead of 10, 949-8037. Or Richard, Olivia, and Miss Michaela joins us as we talk about things that are important to all of us, not just the future, but right now. Shall we go to our phones? Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
Very blessed and thankful. I was accused of being handsome earlier. But
yeah, okay. This is Steve.
Dr. Steve, sir. Yeah.
And good afternoon, guests, your young people there.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to ask you, young people, do you think that the Barkhurst area should be designated as a national park?
In my opinion, it should be completely designated. It should be not only designated as a national park, but the extension should be made to other areas of the Cayman Islands as well that are not under official national park jurisdiction as well. I mean, there's large parts of Red Bay, I believe, that are not under technical national park status, but are, in all honesty, or acted as such. But because there's no legal requirement of it being designated as a national park, you still have the legal, technical ability to still construct there. And this is really much a loophole that is being exploited by people like Mr. Whitaker in order to advance their business interests in the area. And by implementing a national park system fully in the Barkers area, and not only Barkers but other aspects of the Cayman Islands, you'll be able to prevent these loopholes from occurring and, in effect, be bettering the environment and the areas that envelop these national park areas. So I do fully agree with you that it should be considered a national park.
I feel like it's... Oops, sorry.
Hello, sir?
If you designate the area as a national park, even the land that does not belong to the government, that belongs to private ownership, the government knows the legal and historical principle of eminent domain.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the government can purchase the land, some in some law jurisdiction, they call it compulsory purchase the property.
Mm-hmm.
They can purchase it as long as the purchase is for a public purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner cannot exist legally the purchase of the land as long as the government is paying him the value of the property, the price for it. Now, the government would send in evaluators, and the evaluators would value the land at what it's worth, and the government would try to have a concession between the landowner and the government to pay that money. And if the landowner refused to take that money, the government can use the principle of eminent domain and take the land and put the money in his name.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is needed around Cayman Islands.
Right.
And
yes, sir. We're having a little challenge here, and I don't know if it's all right. Can you hear us, sir? We just want to ask a question in relation to the seabed, the body of water, not the physical landmass, but the water itself. Who is that? Yeah, that the water that the turtle grass is in, with the fish that we swim with. Who is that for? Is that part of the landowner who owns the physical landmass, or who owns that?
The term the Queen's Bottom.
Yes, sir. So that's the term that we're familiar with. So
that belongs to the Crown.
Okay.
But also any landowner.
Okay.
The landowner should only own up to the vegetation line.
Right.
But we do not have a definition of what a beach is here.
Right.
Because successive governments have come along and they have enticed people to buy the land, and each one have put on a different story.
Right.
You go down to where the water laps.
Right.
The beach is from the water up to the vegetation line. That is the beach, and that should be designed. And that's what people have a prescriptive right to use. If they have been using it for 20 years for bathing, swimming, picnics, boating, fishing, and everything. That's in the prescription law.
Mm-hmm.
That's already in the prescription law.
Right. So when it comes to the land and the Queen's Bottom, the land can be used as per the purposes as zoned, but for the Queen's Bottom and any dredging development of any sort, is that sort of automatic?
That's the estimation from the government.
Right. And that can be, is there an expectation then that if I apply for a house, for instance, and build it in a zone area house, but I want to extend my house out into the sea so I can bring my boat in.
You have to get
right. And there's no expectation that would be granted.
Expectation that you are going to get that.
Right. So if that's
and especially in an area where people have prescriptive indefeasible right to use the land,
mm-hmm.
but under the prescription of 1882, that has been updated from time to time, you should never give permission to do that on that.
Okay. Mr. Steve, we are having a great challenge, and I think it's the connection. I hope it's not deliberate, it's just unfortunate timing, but there'll be a challenge. Would you be willing to talk with us more if we try to place in the call to you? To see the connection will be okay. With the greatest respect, because I think you have a lot that you can share with us as usual. Yeah. Let's pause and take a news break.
326?
326? Okay. I can't hear it, but DJ Lynn's going to get it for it. Don't hang up. He's going to get the number and call you back.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the news and come back and join Dr. Steve.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank
you. Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
An armed robbery and a stabbing. It's a busy weekend for police. On Friday, police attended an armed robbery on Crew Road where two men, one armed with a gun, held up a shop and stole cash before taking off. One person was injured in the incident. A few hours later, around 3 a.m. on Saturday, police were called to a stabbing on Mary Street. No arrests were made, but it is believed that two men were involved in the attack. The victim is said to be in critical but stable condition. In news elsewhere, Prime Minister Theresa May said Monday that the postponed vote in Parliament on Britain's Brexit agreement with the European Union will be held the week of January 14th, more than a month after it was originally scheduled and just 10 weeks before Britain leaves the EU. But even as May insisted she could salvage her unpopular divorce deal, pressure was mounting for dramatic action, a new referendum or vote among lawmakers to find a way out of Britain's Brexit impasse and prevent the economic damage of a messy exit from the EU on March 29th with no agreement in place. The British government and the EU sealed a divorce deal last month, but May postponed a parliamentary vote intended to ratify the agreement last week when it became clear legislators would overwhelmingly reject it. Two men involved in a Turkish lobbying campaign led by former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn have been charged with illegal lobbying in a case related to Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. An indictment unsealed Monday against Flynn's former business partner and Turkish businessman accuses the two men of conspiring to covertly and unlawfully influence U.S. politicians on behalf of Turkey. And Catriona Gray from the Philippines claims the Miss Universe crown for 2018, beating contestants from 93 other countries. Gray edged out first runner-up South Africa. Miss Venezuela rounded out the top three at the contest in Bangkok, Thailand. The 24-year-old Filipina-Australian becomes the fourth Filipina to bring home the coveted title. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Make it Le Classique this holiday season and give the gift that will last forever. The gift of leather. With leather goods, accessories, and footwear that fuse classic timeless fashion with today's trends, Le Classique will add versatility and distinction to any wardrobe. Find the perfect gift for any man with the selection of leather belts, wallets, briefcases, and luggage to shoes for leisure, work, or special occasions up to size 13. Make it Le Classique this holiday season. For the ladies looking for style and quality, Le Classique carries handbags, luggage, shoes, and accessories for any occasion. Shop the new shoe, accessories, and leather collection for men and women at Le Classique this holiday season. Make it last. Make it Le Classique.
Cayman's cruise tourism is not at risk.
Not at risk.
Not at risk if we do not build the piers.
This is according to the Vice President of Carnival Cruise Lines.
The vast majority of cruise ships will continue to be smaller ships that will tender for the foreseeable future.
Of the 22 ships on order by Carnival Cruise Lines, only three are mega-class ships destined for the Caribbean.
It is also a fact that the fourth largest mega ship in the world, the MSC Margavalia,
will call on Cayman from October 2019 by tender.
By tender.
Cayman's thriving cruise sector has grown steadily by 14%.
We will not lose any current revenue without the piers.
But we may jeopardize our stay-over tourism,
which generates 76% of our tourism revenue.
Is a cruise pier really needed?
There are currently too many unanswered questions.
Our government must get this right.
For us now and future generations.
Make an informed decision. It's your constitutional right.
It is your constitutional right. Sign the petition, support the referendum, and let's build our future together.
South Coast Bar and Grill up in Breakers, man, that is the place. For traditional Cayman cuisine, oh, you will love the taste. At South Coast Bar and Grill, we got conch and lobster and turtle stew. And every Sunday, come out with your family for the barbecue.
South Coast Bar and Grill by the seaside, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, lunch and dinner. Call us at 947-2517.
For Cayman and cuisine, the talk today is South Coast Bar and Grill.
Stay connected and enjoy your favorite holiday moments with Flow. Make Christmas memories great with the best phones at amazing holiday prices. Get the Samsung Galaxy A8 from $43.25 a month or the S9 from $70.75 a month from Flow. Sign up for Flow Quad Play to share up to 50 gigs of data and 5,000 calling minutes. It's amazing value and great gifts for loved ones or yourself. Plus, plenty of chances to win Flow holiday prizes. So make it Flow for everything mobile this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.ky for more. Terms and conditions apply.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., you can hear a repeat broadcast of CI Retro's Talk Today special presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, when we take a look back at Cayman Islands Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years to present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Cayman Enterprise City, pioneering a new type of special economic zones in the Cayman Islands, focused on technology and innovation. FSH Designs. Let your imagination grow with FSH Designs Limited. Visit fshdesigns.com today. Eats Cafe, Legends, and Yoshi Sushi, located in the Fall Center on the West Bay Road, across from the Westin. And by Puritan Cleaners, celebrating 60 years of excellent service to the Cayman Islands community. And to you from all of our fine sponsors, all the best for the Christmas season and into the new year. Remember, Thursday, 7 p.m., CI Retro Talk Today's special Christmas presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, looking back at Christmas over the last 150 years on Radio Cayman.
Tune in Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Exclusive. Radio Cayman's Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio, featuring Will Sinatra. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, dancehall, and soca.
The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of Fitness Plus and Train with Dre.
Get top-rated personal training or build your very own home or office gym today.
But I do have some questions.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program. Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. And as we continue the discussion about Barcas and the whole issue of environment and development, we have the good company of some brilliant students, Richard Olivia and Miss Michaela. But on the phone, Dr. Steve McPhail is still there. Sir, thank you for rejoining us. I hope the connection is better. Dr. Steve?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And I do apologize. I'm not quite sure exactly.
No, it's okay. Yeah, thank you.
It was
As I was saying to you young people, I was saying to them.
Yes, sir.
That the people that we elected that are supposed, so that's what we elected them for. We elected them to look after our public interest. It's not like as if people were selected on the board of directors of Cayman National Bank to get the best price for the shares. We elect these people to take care of our interests, our public interests. That means to make us more comfortable, to do all the things that we would like to protect us, to protect our rights, and therefore they are our servants. They are not our masters. We dictate to them. They do not dictate to us. And that's the problem in this country, where the vote is counted in the night after election, they then become the masters. And then we become the slaves, and a slave cannot dictate to his master. That's the problem that we have in this country. And it's because of lack of education and lack of misinformation by a lot of people. So what has happened here over the last 50, 40, 50, 60 years, what we have allowed to develop here, is a two-faced, separate culture of those that have and those that don't have. Those that are powerful and those that are powerless. And those that are powerful are the money people have the most money. They can do anything they want to do. They can destroy the environment in the name of free enterprise and fictitious jobs for Caymanians. They can destroy the country for that. All of those things are nothing but lies and meanwhile they rape the country, leaving nothing behind. There was a time when I was growing up here that Caymanians took what they needed to survive on. They took the grouper, they didn't overfish the grouper. They didn't overfish the ground. They took as many lobsters as they could eat and conchs as they could eat. They didn't take them because they could sell them and make more money. And I always ask, more is not better than enough. If you have enough money that you can have a nice home, if you can have a car, and that you can send your children to good schools, good universities, and give them a good education, and you could live well. What else do you want? More and more to destroy the country for more and more and more. It is an asinine philosophy, and in many other countries that I have lived in, I have lived in other jurisdictions beside the Cayman Islands, and I noticed that progressive countries, the people who are the most progressive, they use their intellectuals to guide them. They have their sociologists, the people who are interested, who knows about the behavior of men, to tell them about how their social system is working. They have their anthropologists. They have their archaeologists who dig up things and tell them about the past. They have their scientists. They have their philosophers. Here, the government doesn't have anyone guiding them. Not a one, not a soul. They do not even have it. They're not even putting in place the Constitution, which Section 119 says there shall be district councils in every electoral district to advise the members of the district. They refuse to obey the Constitution. The Constitution also says by Section 117 that there should be a law in it's called a standard in public life, so that cabinet ministers and members of the government and people on boards can be accountable for the decisions they make. They refuse to put that in. They do not want to be accountable to anybody. So unless you have lots of money, unless you can buy a $4 million, $5 million condominium, and then they let you dig up the beach and destroy everything else for everybody. I am glad that you young people are standing up. Anything that I can do, just let me know.
All right.
Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to grow up the way I grew up here. I grew up here in a pristine environment where there was harmony between the environment and human beings, and between animals and human beings. And what we've seen here today now is a different set of people, a different set of rules. And like I was saying today, those who we vote for today to represent us and to defend our constitutional rights have failed us. All they're interested in is how much money they can make and how much of money they can get dedicated to the corpus to perpetuate their political life. It's all about encumbrancy. Well, I have to look at getting re-elected. It's all about encumbrancy. It's not about the environment and about saving the land and about putting national parks and about making life more pleasurable. It's about how much money that they can amass. And you know something, young people? Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
I went to a funeral one time, and this is what got me many years ago, before I became a lawyer. And I saw one of the richest men in this country had died. And I went to the church, and I saw him lying there, and he was there, and he was one of the richest men in this country, and he didn't take a penny with him. Not a cent that he took. Not a cent. He went by himself, and not a cent that he take. And I wondered, don't they understand that they can't take it with them? So why are they amassing all this money, destroying the trees and the grass and the fish and the environment to do what? To do what? To say that I have more money than Mr. So-and-so and so? I have more money than this one, and I can do this? It's all vanity. It's all vanity, and it's going to lead us to nowhere. It's going to lead to a society in which people are going to be violent because their rights are not being protected, and it's not going to end good. And I'm happy to see at least two young people are doing it. I tried it in a different way many years ago. I couldn't get anywhere. I left this country and went to other countries and to see how they do it. And they balance their society quite well. Some of them don't. Some of them do. And we don't want to follow those that don't. And I'm glad that you are out there. And then anything I can do, just let me know. And I can help you. Because I think that if you don't stand up, your children and your grandchildren are not going to be able even to walk on the same track, the same path that you are able to walk now today.
Yeah. Dr. Steve, if I could just ask you for my edification, this application to dredge the 4 acres up in Barkas in a replenishment zone, as we understand it, has to go to Cabinet. 2 questions. One, will the public know when Cabinet would be sort of hearing the application, if they're going to be deciding it? And 2, when and if Cabinet approves the application, how will the public know that it has either approved it or disapproved it?
The public has no input in Cabinet papers.
Right.
Cabinet papers are done by the chief officers, and the ministers then put them into Cabinet, and they can make the decisions there. So the public has no input into them. So you'll only know when Cabinet make their decisions. And of course, the only option you have open to you is the judicial review, to review what Cabinet has done through the courts, and that can be very, 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 very expensive and prohibitive.
Right. So in that case, then, if since this is an issue that is going to go to Cabinet and the public has no input, as you shared, and will probably not know, I mean, so how do we know? How does the public stay abreast of it and figure out, well, if there was a petition signed and submitted, and they, as you shared, people are electing individuals to look out for their collective good. How do we know? I mean, what do we do?
No, and Mr. Sterling.
Yes, sir.
If I was a Cabinet minister, do you think that I would entertain an application to dredge into a replenishment zone and into environmental zone? That would be prohibitive.
Yeah, but can we ask then? Again, I asked this because the question was asked to me, but I must say I was asking the question to myself as well. This is, as we understand it, in the replenishment zone. We understand if you were to go there, even during conch season, and take one conch or a lobster or fish or whatever it is that's prohibited by law in the replenishment zone, you'll be committing an offense.
Exactly.
Okay, so if that is the instance, how can an application of this nature even be entertained legally in a replenishment zone?
Mr. Sterling, it amounts to environmental genocide, and that's what it amounts to, and I just can't believe that they would even consider it. In fact, I would have put that to rest if I was a minister in charge of the environment long time ago. I would have come out and said, don't even make the application to Cabinet.
Okay. I don't want to monopolize your time, so I'll engage, but another question, since you're there. We have a minister, and I ask for forgiveness because I honestly haven't paid attention to who's in charge of what and where, but there's a minister for the environment. There's another minister under which planning and the other stuff comes, and then there are other ministers. So there seem to be different ministries who have different aspects that conceivably could overlap. I don't know if that creates an issue in your mind.
Yes, because they all have collective responsibility, remember?
Mm-hmm.
They all collective responsible to each other, and they're collective responsible to the legislature. So it seems to me that if they all gang up on you and they said the 4 or 5 or 6 said, I'm not going to sustain McField's position and not granting the permit, and then you're out. Then you're out because you wouldn't have the numbers, and then you can't come out and say anything about your disagreement with them in Cabinet, because then you should leave the government. You should resign. If you can't keep a collective responsibility. So that's the position that people would be in.
Okay.
But I couldn't care less about my incumbency or whether I would continue to be a minister or not. I would come out and say so. I would come out and say, don't even make the application, because I am not going to support as minister.
All right. So then, well, perhaps for young students, any comments or questions we have of Dr. Steve?
I think that Dr. Steve really hit the nail on the head with his...
Nearly hitting the hammer?
Yeah. But, he was completely right with what he was saying, that Cabinet does have the collective responsibility in order to pass the actual approval for the development of the Barkers area. And this is an interesting question because, the government, the PPM government, is a minority, and they have to rely on the cooperation of CDP or UDP, and they have to rely on the cooperation of them and on the Honourable Tara Rivers and Dwayne Seymour as well.
As independents, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so if this proposal was to go through, in my mind, I can see no way that the government can be truly executing the oath of office that they're sworn to protect. And so I would say that if this was to go through, that especially for the members of CDP, UDP in the West Bay area, that they should immediately resign from government, because it is an issue that is directly affecting the lives of people in West Bay. It is an issue that is affecting the culture and the history of not only the West Bayers, but the Cayman Islands as well. And as such, and they're backbenchers. They're not in cabinets. They don't have the say as the PPM does. But if this cabinet goes through with what the proposal is, then I see in no way, shape, or form that that UDP should continue supporting the government as it stands right now. That is what I think, and that is what I am sure is the most appropriate course for action for the people in West Bay, to know that their elected representatives are seeking their best interests and are seeking the interests of not only themselves, but of the Cayman Islands as a whole.
All right. Dr. Steve, any other comments? Sorry, we certainly don't want to take too much of your time.
If you listen to the leader of the CDP,
yes, sir,
on the radio, I think was last week, he made it quite clear. He said that people bought their land and they can do what they want with it. Now he's the leader of the CDP, so you know where the CDP would be going if they vote if they have to support the government in any way on an application.
Right. He's also the Speaker of the House as well now, right?
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So he's already made his voice heard publicly, and of what his intention is and where his party would be placed into the quantum.
Right.
So they are going to protect each other, the power that they have now, and they are not going to do anything to protect the people of West Bay or the people in the Cayman Islands where Barcus is concerned.
Yes, sir.
They will allow the rape of the environment to continue, and they couldn't care less, because it's according to them, it's a free enterprise system, and it brings money into the pocket of some people.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Steve, for sharing, sir.
Thank you very much, Sue, for calling me back.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Thank you. And Merry Christmas to the young people there.
Thank you, sir.
We do have some other callers, respectfully. Let's join them. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Sterling?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Well, I know you as Dwayne, not Sterling.
Well, I look at my passport and I see both names,
Oh, okay.
Well, you probably knew me before I knew myself, huh?
Yeah, well, good afternoon to you on the panel. Kenneth Ebanks, how you doing?
Mr. Kenneth, and I know you played us. And I still remember your football team beating mine so badly that I don't know if I will ever play again.
Maybe that's why we don't see you on the field that often nowadays.
Well, good afternoon to you, Mike. And thank you for sharing your voice this afternoon.
Okay, and good afternoon to your panel of youngsters.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I was very proud of them at the meeting we had in the West Bay Town Hall a few weeks ago concerning the Barkers matter.
Yes, sir.
Again, I just want to publicly thank them for the way that they eloquently expressed themselves. Also, I'm glad I called in after Dr. Steve McField, because we got several Dr. McField, so let's make sure which one we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And especially the issue of eminent domain, like I expressed at the meeting at the West Bay Town Hall. Well, not Town Hall, but the
school hall.
Yeah, the school hall.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get together, and especially the 4 West Bay representatives, to get them to vote or to express their displeasure with the application. Because if you can imagine now, I mean, about roughly 4 acres, that's about the size of 3 football fields. If persons can visualize what 3 football fields look like, then they'll get an idea as to the size of the area that they're proposing to excavate.
Wow.
By all means, that should not happen. and we need to use every tool in the toolbox that we have to ensure that it does not happen. I told them that I am prepared to offer my assistance, as Dr. Steve McFeely said, he's prepared to offer his advice and counsel as an attorney. But I think that they're now in a pretty good state to put up a fairly good fight against this application.
Okay.
For one thing, which the public may not be aware of, but part of the site on land, zone, public open space from the 1977 development plan. And that is where you would mainly have persons who come by land to get into the water, which means that we'll have, again, what is supposedly public open space being used for commercial purposes, which is not the intent of that zone.
What?
And we need to, again, pressure our reps to put pressure on government to say, no, this cannot happen. Because if, as a fisherman or just someone who wants to go out, get a few council officers or whatever the case may be, you can't take that from the ocean bed in the Queen's Bottom, but you are entitled to come up here and excavate 3 acres of it. Like Dr. Steve said, the application should not even be entertained.
Well, I appreciate it, man, and hopefully we can hear more from you. Any other comments you want to share, sir?
No, as I said at the meeting, I'm prepared to offer my assistance in whatever capacity I'm able to. But we have to fight this tooth and nail.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we do have a couple of other callers. Respectfully, let's join them as well. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon again, ma'am.
This is Georgette. My youngest daughter called and told me that I sounded aggressive. You young people, my dear 2 young ladies, and I think 1 young gentleman.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just being I was stressing how important the turtle grass is. God knows I didn't mean to sound aggressive, because I admire you all so much, and may God bless all of you and have a blessed, happy, beautiful, safe Christmas.
Amen.
Please forgive me if you thought I sounded aggressive. I didn't mean to.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, man. God bless you too. I think that passion, and if she, as she says, a blessed night of one, can see the importance of it, and you guys, instill in your teens, if I may say that. Yeah. Maybe this is something that galvanized us as the last 2 callers prior. So thank you, Ms. Georgia. God bless you as well. And DJ, can we take 1 more caller, sir? As we have the opportunity to continue discussing about Barkhurst area and the future and prosperity and development and social stability and all those things. Richard, Olivia, and Michaela joins us. Let's take 1 more caller. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, my friend. Now we can. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was listening in earlier, and I just wanted to call to tell your young panel that I'm super inspired, and I'm happy that one, they're brave enough to get on the radio and speak, passionately about our environment and all these things. And earlier in the show, I heard one of the young ladies mention about the importance of preserving Cayman for future generations. And I can't agree more. Generation now is obviously responsible for generation next, and it's our collective responsibility to ensure that the next generation has something to fight for as they are now. So have what it is today. So we shouldn't do anything less. In fact, we should even go further and ensure that we do put in our conservation bill and we do expand and have far-reaching regulations that prevent this type of thing from happening so that we don't have to get out there and protest about or speak our minds about the destruction of our environment. I mean, at the end of the day, our tourism is what started this whole economic boom that we have right now. It's the only thing that we Caymanians own. And the reason why we own it is because we preserved it. And the reason why it's so beneficial to our people and our economy is because of the pristine environment that we've managed to somehow preserve over the years. So now, all of a sudden, we decide that we want to do it for mass development. We are all pro-development, but it has to be sustainable and it has to make sense. So I applaud everybody in there, and I hope that other young people is listening to you guys, and they too get inspired to come out and voice their opinions more, because too many times you hear the regular voices on the radio, like myself. You know, I'm always on the radio, and I'm going to always be until the day I die. But I'm happy that young people are on Sterling and Radio Cayman. I really got to give one of the thanks for creating time for these young people. And I want you guys to continue to come on as often as you possibly can and speak on these issues, because it's important. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. And we do have to take a break so that maybe we can earn some ad revenue and maybe get paid. I don't know. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
At KFC, we believe you don't have to share a last name to be a family. Whether it's an office party, holiday fete, or family gathering, enjoy KFC's fresh, hand-breaded finger-licking good chicken. The KFC Festive Feast includes 10 pieces of original recipe or spicy chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, tasty coleslaw, and warm biscuits. KFC's holiday catering menu includes buckets of hot wings, sweet chili wings, or chicken tenders. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Hello, I'm Arthur Ebanks.
And I'm Angela Ebanks, owners of Savannah Pharmacy.
On behalf of the entire Savannah Pharmacy family, we would like to wish all of our Cayman families a very Merry Christmas and safe and prosperous New Year.
Remember, we're always just around the corner in Countryside Shopping Village with everything your family needs this holiday season. We look forward to continuing to serve you and your loved ones throughout 2019.
Brand Source Home Gallery has been appointed the exclusive Cayman supplier for Duravit bathroom products. Duravit is the leading international manufacturer of bathroom ceramics, tubs, and showers, recognized around the world for beautiful, functional products. Winner of top industry awards, Duravit collaborates with leading European designers to provide the most elegant and innovative bath products. If you're ready to bring style, comfort, and innovation to your bathroom, visit Brand Source Home Gallery to see the new Duravit showroom and meet the in-house bath designer. Whether you're planning a functional family bathroom or a personal spa retreat, browse the Duravit collection and be inspired. Brand Source Home Gallery, delivering a new standard in custom designed bathrooms. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., you can hear a repeat broadcast of CI Retro's Talk Today special presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, when we take a look back at Cayman Islands Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years to present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Cayman Enterprise City, pioneering a new type of special economic zones in the Cayman Islands, focused on technology and innovation. FSH Designs. Let your imagination grow with FSH Designs Limited. Visit fshdesigns.com today. Eats Cafe, Legends, and Yoshi Sushi, located in the Fall Center on the West Bay Road, across from the Westin. And by Puritan Cleaners, celebrating 60 years of excellent service to the Cayman Islands community. And to you from all of our fine sponsors, all the best for the Christmas season and into the new year. Remember, Thursday, 7 p.m., CI Retro Talk Today's special Christmas presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, looking back at Christmas over the last 150 years on Radio Cayman.
Did you know that recycling collection containers are located island-wide on Grand Cayman? The Department of Environmental Health's program is an integral part of DEH's waste management responsibility in the Cayman Islands. Start your recycling program at home today. Put your Type 1 and 2 plastics in appropriate DEH recycling containers at all Foster's supermarkets, Kirk Market, or Hurley's Grand Harbor. Please keep the Cayman Islands clean. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. For more information about recycling, go to www.deh.gov.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We've got a few more minutes, the young people sharing their time, Richard, Olivia, and Miss Michaela. We do have some callers online, though. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today. Hello, good afternoon. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, welcome. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I just would like to find out something. With all of these lands that are selling around Cayman Islands, what's going to happen to Caymanian biggest tradition in camping? Because every way that they're clearing up. So others talking about generation to pass down, but when this new generation come up, what about them children that all are Cayman style, where we go camping and enjoying ourselves, and what's going to happen to all that? Because they're clearing up Barkers. That's one of the biggest camping area. They already clear up West Bay Road. So where the Caymanians supposed to enjoy our island heritage, that's part of our island. That's one of the biggest things that we look for in the Easter time. It's camping.
Interesting
The next 3 generations that's coming up, what are they going to know about camping? Going in a hotel? Back then, don't you guys remember when you used to camp with your friends out there in our wild, enjoying fishing and diving for conchs and just having a good time? I don't think on a generation, when your grandchildren come around, you think they don't know anything about that kind of stuff?
Probably not.
They're not going to know one thing about camping. Our little island has become so busy that you can't even take an hour lunch these days to come from Kirk Supermarket to Kirk Marine. It takes a half an hour. So what going to happen back then? And they keep selling up everything to these foreigners. What we going to have? One of the help for under children? It's not going to be Cayman Islands pretty soon. It's going to be a different name, the way Cayman going now.
So true.
I don't normally come on the radio, but I just noticing lately that everything in Cayman, I know we need to develop. And they say this younger generation is all computerized and all of this, internet and all kind of stuff, but if we don't slow down Cayman, pretty soon, we're not going to have a Cayman Islands. We are already the 3rd most expensive vacation in the world. Us Caymanians can't survive here hard anymore. The majority of us has gone over to the UK just to make it in life. What will happen to other generation and the grandchildren generation if they live to see it? God hope all on it do. But I mean, nothing here will be pretty soon for Caymanians.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what we're here today fighting for. We're fighting for the ability to keep those traditions such as camping and fishing going. We're fighting for our future generations and our futures as well. So I totally agree with you, and I think that the points that you've raised are very, very true.
We're trying to keep Cayman. Like, you can't take away these crucial parts of the environment and these amazing places and still think that in the future Cayman's going to look and be the same, because it won't. And that's exactly what you're saying and what we're trying to project.
Well, I am here behind on 400% on the fight to keep Cayman the way Cayman was. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to get modernized, but if you look at it lately, Cayman has gotten so hot. This is Christmas next week, and normally we walk around with our jackets freezing, the little Northwestern, but the island has become so hot that we're all running just to get into shade, the little bit of shade that we got left. I mean, if we keep letting these people come here in Cayman and destroying our island, and we keep selling out to these people and making them walk all over, us and other generation that coming up, only got stand strong. The Bible says every generation is wiser and weaker, but I hope and I pray to God that other generation becomes strong and supportive and stand on their feet down firmly. If not, we're not going to have Cayman Islands much longer.
Yes.
You know, see, we not on West Bay Road anymore. They going to start charging us for tolls.
Yeah, it's a tipping point. Like, if we lean a little bit more towards this like developmental side, then it's a pretty steep slope.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing, man. Hopefully we keep hearing from you.
You guys have a blessed and safe Christmas.
Amen.
Thank you, man.
Same to you. All right. Let's take one more. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Hello, good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Good man, good Sterling. Good afternoon, the panel.
All right. Welcome, man. Welcome.
Yeah. Sterling, I'm aware the panel minders, right? They're young, right? And I expect they're exciting. Their democracy and the advocating conservative mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware also they're Asian, right? They're Asian generation. After 95 they're born, right? You're more technical, savvy, and sensitive, right, with things, right? Get me wrong. Every day it's a gap, it's 25 years now. See?
Mm-hmm.
And Sterling, here the beat now. You see the government, right? Government get jobs now. They let the state now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right? For 2005, started voting, right? I tried to vote, right? Recently. And I read a lot, started, if you hear my vocabulary, I see people like Oran Panton, Jim Borden, right? He went to Florida and emulate the airport, also own Robert Airport now. With a waving gallery, right? But out of Crescent now, right? People like Mr. Bush, Car Tibbetts, they powerhouses now. Rivalry, right? And last week, Mr. Bush, the Speaker of the House, came on our talk show. And his point of view, or his article saying, boy, I don't know about Brexit, you know? And I wish every district report. You understand? No, it's a scary scenario, Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because there's a controversy going on up there now in the UK. Across the pond. I went in England at 4 now. I was 10 years old now. Only 6 weeks. I got farm up there. Right? That was 24 years ago. 2005. And Sterling, the point you make now, when it comes to like the development, you got to look at long-term planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Long-term planning in global warming, the temperature rising, the North Pole and South Pole, and the water level, rubber, right? I understand the backlash thing, that's an issue, you know. But I know it's a local thing. It's an ideal topic, but that's an issue. But Sterling, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if they can help me translate to them.
Okay, I follow you, man.
Yeah, translate to them because they talk fast, right? But like, we know about the Brexit thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know about that. I mean, I know it's the subject. I don't want to interrupt the subject or distract it.
Mm-hmm.
But what about that Brexit thing?
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you. All right, Sterling.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Listen, I'll talk to you a lot more often, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, thanks. And thanks, so far for the callers who shared, but for the 3 of you for sharing with us in person. I know it's Christmas, but still a lot to be done. So thank you for your time. The invitation as the caller extended on behalf of anytime you want to come on in person. But as you sort of get onto your next sort of afternoon agenda, any final thoughts? Maybe Richard, start with you, Miss Corinne, and then Miss Olivia.
Well, there was a speaker earlier who brought up the fact that God has created barkers, and it's our position as people of Cayman to enjoy the fruits of God's labor. And I found that really appealing for me personally because I started to think back and the parable about the foolish man who builds his house on the sand and the foolish man instead of the wise man who builds his house on the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact of the matter is that barkers is one of the main reasons why the environment is as rich as it is in the Cayman Islands. The reason why there's so much seagrass in the Barkers area is one of the reasons why West Bay doesn't suffer as badly from storm surge as other areas of the Cayman Islands. The reason why that the seagrass in Barkers area is so important is because it really is, as the nice old lady called earlier, a nursery for many different types of species in the Cayman Islands. And when I think back to the biblical parable, you shouldn't be the foolish man to take away the seagrass in the Barkers area. You should be the wise man and instead recognize the fact that you shouldn't be taking away these stones of Caymanian culture and replacing them with sand only meant for tourists.
Wow, metaphorical. Ms. Kerr.
Yeah, everything that Richard said is 100% accurate. I think today I was super impressed by how many people that are out in our society were willing to put their voices out there like how we are, and just to kind of say that this shouldn't be okay, and it shouldn't even be considered that pulling this much turtle grass out of the ocean is it shouldn't be even a thought. What we're advocating for is that Barker's Beach is a beach, and it's been a beach for the whole time it's been there, and they're trying to turn it into a venue, and it can't happen. And even if it is just a bar, the fact that they're trying to push it one step forward and trying to take out so much of what keeps it a beach is just, it's really difficult to comprehend, and I really hope that as a collective we can prevent it.
Mm-hmm. Just from even just the callers that shared their thoughts today, and all of the people who shared their thoughts at the town hall and the school hall, I'm really, really hopeful, and I feel very empowered that as a people we know what's right from what's wrong, and I hope that we all continue to speak out against this issue, because it's obviously something that struck the hearts of a lot of Caymanians. And it just kind of astounds me that in an age where information and ideas are so readily available, we can't create without destroying. That's really what resonates with me. I just wish that we could come to like an even ground where enough is enough, and we can just say this is what we have to offer, appreciate it, because Cayman is so diverse, and that's something that we want to keep. That's what we're pushing to keep, as well as all of our traditions and the culture and our history that goes along with Barkas.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You guys taking time to share your perspective. Hopefully the people listening would weigh in and do likewise. Wish you guys not just a very enjoyable, safe, merry, and wonderful Christmas. All right. When we come back, there'll be some open line. You can continue the discussion. I'll share some emails and some WhatsApps on the subject and talk about other things. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
This Health Flash is brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Over 65 million people around the world have moderate or severe COPD, a family of diseases that includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Cleveland Clinic, Florida offers a wide range of management and treatment options for COPD, including programs focused on education, medication, smoking cessation, and pulmonary rehabilitation. A team of experts is ready to review your symptoms and test results to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. For more information, visit clevelandclinicflorida.org.
Cayman's tourism product must be properly developed to ensure long-term prosperity for all.
According to the Environmental Impact Assessment, 3 years of construction will stop all water and shore-based activities in the Georgetown Harbor.
Snorkeling, scuba, glass-bottom boat tours, and submarine tours currently generate around $10 million per annum
from our Georgetown Harbor reefs alone. This will result in the loss of hundreds of jobs and closure of many small businesses.
14 acres of healthy coral reefs will be destroyed.
Healthy coral reefs destroyed.
Destroyed.
Cruise ship engines will stir up silt,
smothering the very product tourists come to see. Is this responsible stewardship of our precious natural resources? Will Caymanians really benefit from the piers?
Our government must get it right.
Must get it right.
For us now and for future generations.
Make an informed decision.
Support the referendum.
Support the referendum.
Support the referendum.
And let's build our future together.
Oh, this Christmas, Kirk Freeport is wishing everyone peace, love, joy,
and $40,000 in prizes. Win one of the multiple $5,000 and $1,000 cash prizes just for shopping at your favorite Kirk Freeport store. Purchases of $100 before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. There's even a Rolex watch prize draw on January 2nd, and loads of other great prizes. Peace, love, joy, and the island's biggest Christmas sweepstakes. Only from Kirk Freeport. Full details on kirkfreeport.com. Merry Christmas from Kirk Freeport.
You need Fidelity Health. At Fidelity, they offer great coverage through a highly rated and trusted carrier, payments I can afford, and with no on-island deductible on all the plans they offer. Best of all, they offered my company 50% back on the first month's premium.
Make the easy switch to Fidelity today and get 50% cash back on your first month's premium until December 31st. Call 949-7822 to make your switch now.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
On Thursday at 7 p.m., you can hear a repeat broadcast of CI Retro's Talk Today special presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, when we take a look back at Cayman Islands Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years to present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Cayman Enterprise City, pioneering a new type of special economic zones in the Cayman Islands, focused on technology and innovation. FSH Designs. Let your imagination grow with FSH Designs Limited. Visit fshdesigns.com today. Eats Cafe, Legends, and Yoshi Sushi, located in the Fall Center on the West Bay Road, across from the Westin. And by Puritan Cleaners, celebrating 60 years of excellent service to the Cayman Islands community. And to you from all of our fine sponsors, all the best for the Christmas season and into the new year. Remember, Thursday, 7 p.m., CI Retro Talk Today's special Christmas presentation, Cayman Islands Christmas Remembered, looking back at Christmas over the last 150 years on Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. Some open line now for the remainder of the program. Again, a special thanks to our guests, for joining us, and as some callers have alluded and shared directly, for them for being courageous, for them for being eloquent, intelligent, and industrious, and being prepared to share their thoughts with us, and hopefully as a public, maybe some will remind the scriptures, out of the mouths of babes. Hey, we need to consider how we can work together to make it healthier and better and more productive, safer and stable and successful for now and for the future. It's open line, 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. If you want to share your thoughts, you can WhatsApp equal at 925-3261, or you can email talktoday@candw.ky. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today. Hello, good afternoon. All right, callers there. Good afternoon. All right, sometimes, you push a button and sometimes you pull a string. We'll get that fixed up. Just stay on the line. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today. All right. And hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Charlene.
Yes, my friend. Sorry about that, man. Sometimes, we don't get it right, but thank you for...
Yeah, man. Charlene, I have to call back now, but the year's soon finished now, completed, right?
Yeah, man.
2 weeks and days, right? Charlene, for the last 11 years, I listen to talk show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm working on and off, working, right? I hit the beat now. I see people in Cayman now, right? I know who have amnesia, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people were complaining, but why the government or opposition can't sit down together, right? Right? 2017, right? They finally decided that they wanted the Speaker of the House to join this one, and that we're going to mix up controversy, right? The horse race, right? The horse feeding, you might have to go, right?
Mm.
And the point of it, Sterling, I get to the present point now. The point to make every politician in the world, right? They have the theories, agenda, and they drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a public company are fool now, right? And Sterling, the point to make now, this Brexit thing now. Like, I don't want to distract the young miners, right? They gone, right?
Yeah.
I watch YouTube, but I'll be gone. And now, like I say, Sterling, the Brexit thing is a serious scenario now. right?
Right.
You said the backstop, right? You recall I called about 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago I called it. The Customs Union and the backstop.
I remember.
If you recall.
Yes.
Yeah, right? All right, how did it go, right? And starting the portion breakdown, you see Northern Ireland, right? You know UK based on four nations, right? England, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that Northern Ireland is a big deal. That 310 nautical miles, the borderline, right? Imaginary and existing. And the Portuguese Sterling, you see Ireland is left now. They play a big role, they call the shots now. We EU now. Ireland. Not Ireland now. Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland itself, yeah. They play a big role. So that was the back stalling in the back for you. In Sterling, I don't know with all the overseas territory, what do you plan to do? Got Jeremy Corbyn, boy, he agitated Green Fuller, right? And you have 4 certain things down our throat. Look about independence. Look about it, starting. It's not 5 years from now. We say 2019 now. 5 years from now, it'll be 2024. Round off, 2019 now. That's realize, right?
Right.
Look into it. You want to do it? And like I said again, I had Mr. Bush on our talk show that morning. He say, and I wish they have a poor in every district. In a scared out, but in a promise, but in reality, look into it. Or have some other revenue come in here. Yeah, tell you. Because my wonder that my heart beat now. That my rush legalize it. Sort of revenue. Something, sort of give and take. Or sacrifice. So then, both time, man. Enjoy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. Thank you too. All right. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And to our listeners, there's open line, so you can call and share your thoughts. We can continue talking about the environment and development, Barker support. It doesn't matter. We can talk about other things as well. Here's a question, and here's a comment from the email. Let's go to the email first. It says, I look into the future. So if you want to see the future of a developed Barkers, a simpler look at the current beach with Calico Jacks, at the current public beach with Calico Jacks. This is what it would look like. WhatsApp is saying, question I want to ask is, if the people can't stop the government from doing this, then can the UK do anything about it? 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. You can always call us toll free at 1-800-534-TALK. We'll pause and we'll take a break, go to our headline news. When we come back, we invite you to call and share your thoughts. Whether you want to take the conversation, well, it's up to you. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Follow Radio K-Man on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio K-Man.
Radio K-Man.
Radio K-Man's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
8 people are under arrest suspected of unlawful gaming. Police say officers made the arrest while executing a warrant on Owen Roberts Drive Friday just after 9:30 p.m. 7 men and 1 woman are under arrest. In international news, an intense spate of 6 U.S. airstrikes on a coastal town in Somalia in which 62 people were killed were, quote, preemptive strikes to prevent a major extremist attack. That's according to a Somali intelligence officer. The U.S. military said today it carried out 4 strikes on December 15th, in which 34 people were killed, and 2 more on December 16th, which killed 28. Pushing the U.S. government to the brink of a partial shutdown, the White House is insisting that Congress provide $5 billion to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. This despite lawmaker resistance from both parties. Without a resolution, parts of the U.S. federal government will shut down at midnight on Friday. Thomas Merkel appeals to his daughter Meghan to call home, saying they haven't spoken since her wedding to Prince Harry in May. The former actress, now known as the Duchess of Sussex, has ignored his attempts to get in touch. At least that's what Thomas Merkel told ITV. Merkel had been scheduled to walk his daughter down the aisle, but then pulled out of the wedding at the last moment because of heart problems. Those are your headlines. From Radio K-Man's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
Radio K-Man, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiokman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio K-Man is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio K-Man.
You need Fidelity Health. At Fidelity, they offer great coverage through a highly rated and trusted carrier, payments I can afford, and with no on-island deductible on all the plans they offer. Best of all, they offered my company 50% back on the first month's premium.
Make the easy switch to Fidelity today and get 50% cash back on your first month's premium until December 31st. Call 949-7822 to make your switch now.
Back by popular demand, the Desk Cycle Half Price Sale. Yes, for a limited time only. Get your Desk Cycle for only CI $125. Keep fit, lose weight, stay healthy with the Desk Cycle Pedal Exerciser. Call 326-3726 or email deskcyclecayman@gmail.com. The Desk Cycle allows you to get healthy exercise while sitting at your desk, watching TV, or using your phone. You can be losing weight while reading a book, playing video games, or any other time when you are sitting and your legs are free. Join millions around the world who are loving their Desk Cycle, one of the highest rated items on Amazon with over 2,000 testimonials. The Desk Cycle has been featured on the Hallmark Channel, The Today Show on NBC, ABC, BBC News, CNBC, and many more. Get your Desk Cycle today for only CI $125. Call 326-3726 or email deskcyclecayman@gmail.com. For more information, visit deskcyclecayman.com or like our Facebook page.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Or you can send your thoughts on our WhatsApp, 925-3261. If you choose, you can equally share your thoughts on our email, talktoday@candw.ky. It's open line. Give us a shout, share your thoughts with us, let us know what you're thinking, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to share with you as you wish. A couple of the comments on our WhatsApp are simply asked that when it comes to the government, so the day making decisions, is it to a point? And this one's alluding to what cabinet can and cannot do in a way in which it acts. Is asking, is it now that those sort of applications, I presume, referring to coastal works applications, should they now be, in the public domain, given that they have to be advertised anyway? Now, maybe those are changes that should come to pass. But your thoughts, 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Another individual was asking if I had any more insight or if I would reach out to MLA Chris Saunders, and certainly will do that. During the break, took a quick call. Someone was sharing that they were reading a report in the local media where MLA Saunders was questioning whether we see a massive increase in our population as a result of this new financial regulation that we've been expected to comply with, laws that are being amended to sort of show our cooperation with the EU and the like, and requiring exempted companies to be more sort of physical domicile here. The person, was sharing that that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's a managed growth, but she said that is just primarily the issue. How much of what we're doing is managed or is knee-jerk? How much of what we're doing, she shared, is beneficial to the country long term? We'll see an increase in the demand for housing if more people are physically present. Perhaps the competing prices will be good for those who have properties to sell or to rent or the like. Businesses may do well, but how will that knock-on effect in relation to congestion on our streets? The issue she shared with competing spaces in schools and the like, and as we move forward. Your thoughts? 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Our final comment was, again, the whole idea that we're not looking long term and we're not looking at ways of making sure that people have better quality of life. She shared that as her children come into their own, they're going to get their cars because they need to be able to move about. It's good that cars are accessible and relatively affordable, whether you're importing one relatively cheaply or whether you're buying an expensive one for whatever reason. She shares that it's good that we can have that. The answer isn't that we should only limit or restrict, prohibit cars, but provide an alternative, maybe a safe, clean, efficient, reliable means of mass transport may be the way. Now, is that a public-private partnership that could be had, as opposed to what seems to be, almost a protected monopoly in a sense, as she put it. Now, she says she recognizes that's not exactly what it is, but it seems that at times, we restrict routes, we allow, people to operate, and it's almost the government has taken a very hands-off approach to complaints or concerns expressed by the public with respect to the safety at times, and certainly the reliability and the service of the routes. She shares that it's not something that we should be ignoring. Maybe the investment in public rail system or some other public transport system is where the country needs to focus on, especially if we're going to be looking at increasing our population. We build more roads, we import more cars, we get more congestion. We build more roads, we import more cars, we get more congestion. Can we move 500 people from point A to point B much more efficiently and much cheaper? Well, maybe we can. Let's try our phones. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-TALK. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Good afternoon, my friend. How are you today, man?
Fine. Not good as you.
Well, why I pray for blessings.
I want to be as you one day.
Yeah? Why? I pray you will be as good, if not better.
I will be better, of course. Dwayne, unfortunately, very sadly, I see a video and some pictures circulating on Facebook from the district of Cayman Brac, and somebody from a long time live in a public bathroom, a homeless. And, the very sad thing that this person being spoke about the social services many times and nothing being done about him. Maybe I'm very sure the MLA for the area where this person is Moses Kirkconnell. It's shame in him that he is hearing about somebody. I'm very sure this person give him a vote one day, and it's shame in him that somebody in Cayman Brac in that reach and a Caymanian reach that condition. And Mr. Kirkconnell interested in building a port, not interested in fixing the poor people's life, not interested in changing people's life to the best. But it's shame, it's very shame in this government what those people being suffering, some of them from 4 and 5 years. And don't tell me they have mental illness, because this is a lie being used by the government to excuse, there is people who sleep in the road, those mentally ill. I see some of them, they are not mentally ill, they are not patients in any mental hospital, and they never been in a mental hospital. But they are homeless because they can't find a job, they can't find a roof under, and it reaches that it humiliates a human being. It's very humiliating to a human being to live in a public bathroom in Cayman Brac, and we have Mr. Kirkconnell representing Cayman Brac for many, many years, and he is the one changing Cayman Brac to welfare state. It's shame in him. Leave you from the board, Mr. Corconol. Take the first plane, go back to Cayman Brac and fix this man's situation before Christmas time. Because it's shame in you. It's very shame in you that somebody from your own people is in this condition, and you know about it. I'm very sure Mr. Corconol know about it. And he has to have some shame to fix the problem. Thank you. Have a good day, Dwayne.
Hey, thank you very much indeed for sharing. As we go to the next caller, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Emil Levy from Boston Town.
Mr. Levy, good to hear from you, sir.
I don't call in too much on your talk program, but I think that came to my mind about that because I have so much to say to our people about so many things. Today I call after listening to a young lady. A young lady called asking questions concerning their future.
Yes, sir.
And I want to call in support of her 100% in what she's saying, especially in the perseverance of our beautiful areas for camping, having Cayman fun, the areas for swimming, our environment. 100% I support her with that program. That she is hoping will be there for her and her grandchildren, perhaps. And that is such things as being able to have beach parties, camping, and preserving the areas of our breeding grounds for our future generations to have food from the sea. Instead of such people as Mr. Whitaker, and the Whitaker, I'm talking to you about you wanting to destroy parts of us. You're an outsider. You want to come and destroy parts of West Bay? No much money in the world, Handel. Not even $1 billion to your pocket could make you want to destroy 1 inch of Barker. You know anything about it? Well, let me tell you something about it, Handel. Barker belongs to all Caymanians. It's the area that all Caymanians love, and it's the sea and the animals in the sea love it like we do. I want to talk to you about these stupid people on this island. Our people have gone stupid. Not just Moses Catana, but Cayman Brac, but a lot of others have gone stupid. We have an opportunity to make paradise better, prettier, cleaner. We have an opportunity to have wise people doing wise things as did our elders before us that created this paradise home that we have. Let me remind my people, today the island might look beautiful. Tomorrow, if evil demons get what their hands to do what they want to do with it, they'll turn it into another Trashmore, but in a different way. Look at our economy. Great, huh? Look at our people in prison and in slavery still. Are you listening, members of government? Are you listening, Cayman people? Our people has gone astray. They're wandering around like lost sheep at sea. If your budget is $800 million, and you cannot make the people happy on this island with $800 million, give the 60,000 people is on this island $1 million each to better their lives. And you will use the rest of it to waste it anyway, like making trash more higher. Ladies and gentlemen of the Cayman Islands, we need proper leadership in this country. A leadership that loves the people, loves these islands, and makes it possible for all to live better. Prosperity to be our saying. We are very prosperous people. Not that we got a lot of tourist numbers, and we got a lot of banks on our island, and our people is homeless, living in terrible conditions with no finance. Give them $1 million and use the rest of it to go to casinos like you all do and waste it like you all do and don't pay your bills. Are you listening, Cayman?
Do you think they are, sir?
They're not listening.
Why is that?
Listen carefully. I could give it to you once more on air for all on this island to listen to. Your time now.
Yes, sir.
Blazing in the sun with money can't done. But my people are gone astray, wandering around like lost sheep at play. When will the madness end? What a devilish trend. We watch as they come and night again. People without proper direction going around the bend. This one wants and that one gets. But Almighty God, it is that my people forget, thinking that in this world they will always stay. When they're so wrong, led by Lucifer and his satanic demon way. Time for us all to stop, think, and pray. Who will be there to stand that day? That my people are lost and have lost their way. Wake up now and hear the call. There's still a chance for one and all. For in the times of times, it is these times. You can read some of these wise words in the original scrolls of Revelation about an upcoming time and the great and terrible tribulation. The time. I hope that those that are wise in my country be ready. Thank you, my folks. Wake up. Your paradise is slipping away from you, and your people are suffering. If you need to call me to help, I'm always here to help.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for sharing. Hopefully, as you said, there's a call for people to listen. Blessings to you for the Christmas. All right, let's take another call, sir. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you today?
Very thankful and blessed. How about yourself?
I'm good. I just wanted to see if was it an open line for anything, or
you call in and share your thoughts, man. It's open right now.
Okay, so I just wanted to just sort of keep the Save Barker's initiative, at the forefront of everybody's thoughts and minds, in particular the cabinet ministers that are charged with making a particular decision on the coastal works application that's before them.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make, my opinion and my particular point on this, that I think that they should automatically reject the application before them. I understand there's a due process that has to be done, so I hope that throughout that due process that they do what they have to do, but they make the right decision, which I believe, in my opinion, is to turn down that application and basically reject it, so that we don't have a situation where something natural like the Barker's environment, and in particular this turtle grass that is there, that is supposed to be destroyed, because once you remove it, it's not coming back. And I'm not a marine biologist or anything, but we know what the effects of removing such a drastic amount of natural environment will either do and start to do to the environment. It's just the start of what will end up being, I think, a massive environmental damage that will happen in that area. We've heard of weapons of mass destruction. That application is, in my opinion, a start of something that would be a mass destruction of that environment. So I just want to make my opinion and my voice out there heard, and hopefully the politicians are listening, and hopefully those that are charged with reviewing the documents before them, I would like for them to go out to the area themselves before any decision is made, so that they actually get their bathing clothes on, get in the water, get some goggles, and take a look at the environment with their own eyes and see what they would be making a decision on. I mean, you can't just go at it in one point, so I don't want to make it that they go out there and it's a rough day and the decision is based on thing, but make sure there's a proper study done, that there's assessments done, all throughout a particular time period, which to me it should be an automatic rejection. But if they're going to do it through the process, they have to have the evidence in hand that shows them what's going on in that environment. And I've gone up on a few occasions, and all those days, that I've managed to get in the water. Every time I go in, there's juvenile fish, there's lobsters, there's baby shellfish that is there that you can see them thriving. They go and run, hide in the turtle grass automatically as soon as something comes around big enough that would make them fear something. So the turtle grass is there, and you can see them feeding on it. So that environment is a feeding ground. Is exactly what the zone is termed that by the laws that it is. It's a replenishment zone, and those fish are there, thriving, trying to survive, and trying to grow into something else that, at a later stage, those that love to eat fish, they can actually catch those same grown fish, which would have grown up from those areas, such as barkers. So I don't want them to forget what they're doing. Mr. Handel, I have respect for him in his business mind, but at the same time, he can have the business without destroying that environment. Now, it might not be the type of environment that he wants his business in, but he shouldn't be thinking that he should go into an environment where it is set up for what it was and then change it to what he wants it to be. To me, that, don't go to that area knowing that's what he's going to and then expect it to be destroyed. So I just want to appeal to the government to make the right decision, listen to the people, and listen to, what's good. Our forefathers saw some good in a lot of things, and I hope that these people that have to make the decision will have some foresight for the rest of us Caymanians, and not even the older ones and the younger ones now, but the very young that haven't had a chance to experience or enjoy the natural Cayman that I grew up in, and my kids, I would love for them to be able to continue to go there when they get older. So I just hope that they make a good decision for the future generations and those that are here. So,
well, thank you for sharing, man. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Thanks again.
All right. Let's take another caller, if we can. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Steve Banks.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, thankful to the good Lord. How are you and the family and the staff are doing today?
Thank God we're doing well, sir.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I haven't no time to show, but I just want to thank you all for being there again today, and I appreciate the young people that were there today.
Yes, sir.
Passing their opinions, speaking out for Barcus, that they talk, they have help now is again. They say Barcus, and I think we should still be a concerned people to try and do that, say Barcus. I said it before, but say it again, was a candidate. He was running 2 years ago, and he had in his speech or manifesto, he would say Barcus. But he might have seen what was going to take place or what was taking place from then. So they right down now to the past, now they really want to destroy it all together. This is what I would like to say about the tall grass. If it was said we were going to dig the tall grass up and carry it down to the farm for the turtles to eat down there, that would be bad enough. But you got no idea, Mr. Ebanks, what it is that they're digging this tall grass up for?
Well, the proposal, as we understand it, they're going to dredge 4 acres of turtle grass, make the area, according to them, more like 7 Mile Beach. They'll put a dock out a few hundred feet so that the boats can come in. I think they'll dredge down about 5 feet or so, and then a little bit deeper for the boats. And then from there, they'll have a water sports operation that allows their cruise ship partners and others to be able to go up to the sandbar and other places. The bar area, as well as other water sports activities up in it. Now, some have speculated that this is just part of a grander design development for the area that could include other on land development as offshore as well.
And then I guess about time to get through that dredging it then they should have put a good amount of miles to fill up some swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So that put out about the idea of what that is. Get enough mile over dig down deep enough. They go 40 feet or so I say give them an inch to take a mud. So I think that if as the last caller spoke about it, and another one said the same, they think to change their mind about doing this, about doing any dredging whatsoever, and particularly about digging making a canal. I guess I was going something like Suez Canal or Panama Canal going to Cayman. So I think that the government itself should not even think about getting anything granted like that. So I think people of Cayman Islands, everyone that have a voice should, if they can get on the talk show and speak out against this. But anyway, that's your belief. But I think that you should change your mind about even thinking about dredging Cayman, because up in the Barcos there, they put a strict law against with their gun, which I say, well, this is marine park. So when you're going to dredge now and kill all the little fishes and lobsters and everything that will be coming up, to destroy it is a complete destruction, Mr. Ebanks. And I would say about the development of the land up there, we need to save some land to have there the dead. Need some graveyard, need some cemeteries. So I wouldn't say develop there unless somebody won't put down a little cottage or something there. But now they're going to leave something for generation to come, to camp in and so on. And other things, that the generation do have anything, they can't just got anything left. Now look at 7 miles be everything all developed. And they just selling, we sold out. And we bought out and then we sold out. So Mr. Ebanks, thank you for the little time they're giving me. Somebody else may want to call in. So may the good Lord bless you all. For me and my family, wish you all a blessed Christmas and a blessed New Year by the help of the good Lord. I would like to be sure to see it. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you so, sir, for sharing with us. And I appreciate it. Maybe one more caller? Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hey, good afternoon, Dwayne. Good afternoon, Ms. Susan, and to all our listeners.
Good afternoon, sir. Well, blessed and thankful. How about yourself?
Yes, doing good. Very busy now. I just called in quickly. Luckily, I got some work today, operating 4 different pieces of heavy equipment.
Good for
Dump
you.
truck, excavator, bobcat, and strike loader. But that's not a full-time thing. That's only for a couple hours this afternoon. And I want to let the residents of Grand Cayman know that I have a celebrations done for the season, for the Christmas, using the 4th biggest tanker in the world is due to pass by Grand Cayman around 5 o'clock this evening, either on the north side or the south side, not sure which side, but it's coming by to celebrate the Christmas season. For us, it's on its way from Mina Alamade, Kuwait. Empty tanker doing 16 knots, almost 19 miles an hour. In a big hurry to get to the United States to load crude oil to go back to Japan from United States. So that's what's passing by. It's a huge orange-red tanker, just under 1,100 feet long, 1,092 by almost 200 feet wide. And the monster is doing almost 19 miles an hour. That's what I wanted to let you all know in Grand Cayman. I got the ship arranged to celebrate this, not for the Seaman salute. This one is to celebrate. Most of the time it be in honor of seamen and their wives passing away, but this time it's a celebration for the season.
Well, thank you for arranging that. And, as you said, you're on the north or the south side, but, almost a quarter mile long, 200 feet wide, you should be able to see it, put it visible.
Yes, and 75 feet. The deck is 75 feet above the water. So the building is 150 feet above water, higher than the bluff, because it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
Coming all the way from the Persian Gulf empty. It's never happened before. They always come from the Persian Gulf loaded. But the American crude oil is such in high demand now from Texas and Louisiana going to China, Japan, Korea, all over the world. It's the most of the world's so many of the 4th and 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th largest tankers passing through here just every day. because of this massive trade. And I would like to say Merry Christmas to all family and friends in Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman, and thank all of those who've been helping me out during the year and giving me work for Raymond's Heavy Equipment to help provide a living for me, and want to especially give a shout out and a great thanks to the Stake Bay Church and also to the Creek Church where Mr. Mark Tibbetts is involved in. They provided assistance with some of the American carpenters that put the first rafters on I call it my forsaken home that Paloma Recovery Fund was to finish and never finished it. And they got started on that, and luckily I got some work and bought rafters and plywood, and at least for this Christmas I got the roof on with the ice and water shield, and got to wait again till I get something again to go on further with it. But I would like to say that was an unfinished project from the Paloma Recovery Fund, and they had a balance of $12,500 left in the Recovery Fund to put on my house, but that can't be achieved, that can't be allocated. So that's a question for people in government to answer as to where that $12,500 remains. And I'm without my house 9 years now. My house got damaged and was demolished, and the other one not finished. Anyway, I'm doing all I can.
Yes, sir. Well, I trust you'll continue to persevere, man, and thank you for all you do. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Merry Christmas. And break or call them. Let's go to the phones. Hi, good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Good afternoon, Mom. How are you?
Pretty good. Sterling, I wasn't going to call in today, but...
Wouldn't be the same.
Huh?
It wouldn't be the same.
I thought about that, too. Sterling, we have a beautiful 7-mile beach if everybody comes here to come and use, and we live here. We take it for granted, and we go when we want to go. But these guys pay all this money to come to the Cayman, and we greatly appreciate them coming here. But Sterling, to see that we practically lost the 7 mile, now we want to go somewhere else to continue a sort of, I guess I could use the word, half a prestige beach. As of the 7 mile, I could be wrong now. Okay, but the point is, we know the 7 mile is practically taken over here and there, and then we want to go somewhere else now to try to accumulate another beach to attract our visitors. Sterling, I can't see no visitor paying. They say it could have a cost of about $10 on the cruise to get down to Barker. And they're paying $5 to go to the 7 mile now. And by the time they are taken there and the bus turn around and bring another load, it's practically time for these guys to leave, so they're not getting that much time on the beach. And then the big meeting we had some months ago, they said they're going to have an extra hour on the island, which is crazy. It's not true. But I just want to say that I don't know what's going to take for us, the people, to wake up. All we talk about is generation after generation, but yet people in the government are still doing what they feel is right to fit their eyes and to fit the investors, but forgetting we that vote for these people. So I've been on the ground for the last couple of hours. I've been to East End and down in Georgetown, and I got rested to do, but I'll leave that for another day. Out there trying to distribute some little gift bags, And to see that we got every district has their own MLA representing them, and they go to that house every year, and some of them fight for things for the district, and sometimes it doesn't even come true. But to see how our people are living and dying of need, of living quarters in this situation, I don't know how the government can walk in the people's yard every 4 years and expect a vote from them and know how they are living and their environment. What's going to happen to our senior citizens of this island and our generation that is coming behind a lot of us? Because we talk about generation, fight for the generation, but we have no one that can stand up with us to fight for the generation, apparently, because then they got to do what they do. They're going to do what they want to do when they're ready. It seems like the investors got the power, and the government has the extra power to follow them, but forgets us. Berlin.
Yes, ma'am.
Next 5 to 10 years in Cayman, let me tell you something. I hope I'm around. because it's not going to be a pretty picture. It's not going to be a pretty picture, Sterling, because a lot of young people are getting fed up, and they have nowhere to turn. They come and do the right thing, and they are not heard, they're not heard, and they're being ignored, and they retaliate one fine day, which I would not want in my island. But Sterling, something going to happen. We got no beach left. I was on the 7 Mile Road a couple of days ago, and I saw this big old wall saying no beach access. I'm like, whoa. So why they got that wall there? Why they still got a big sign saying no beach access? You know? That is so disrespectful to us. They come and find us here. I know it's people's property, but still they still got permission to use the beach. We are still living here. They came to find us, and they came to enjoy our beach like us. Why the heck do we have to go put a big pan, a bath pan or backyard, tell ourselves we are at the 7 Mile Beach? I'll leave you at that, Sterling.
Well, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, and have a wonderful and safe rest of the afternoon. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Come back tomorrow. We got a couple of things in store for you. Start off a discussion with our friends from the Boxing Association. Our CIPS will be in the studio shortly thereafter and tell us about some of the activities planned for over the holidays. And then we'll see where it takes us. It might be some open line as well. Hey, continue to not only be of good cheer, but be productive, be constructive, be willing to stand your ground, and do what needs to be done for the greater good. Until tomorrow, be blessed.